Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Jeremy. Welcome to Polyphonic Press. We're just going to get straight into the review today. So today I'm going to be reviewing El Camino by the Black Keys. Now in case you don't know, the Black Keys are a garage rock duo from Akron, Ohio. They've been around since about 2001, and this is their seventh album overall, which is quite a lot of material for only 10 years. Now this album is a follow-up to their 2010 album called Brothers, and this sort of kind of continues in that tradition, although it's a little more rock than Brothers was a little more like R&B influence. Now it starts off with a song called Lonely Boy, and it's also the first single to be released from the album. And you know, when you first hear the song, you can tell that it does really sound like the Black Keys, but they've sort of added some elements that you don't typically hear or maybe haven't been used to hearing on previous releases. They've added some keyboards, they've overdubbed some bass parts, and as background vocals as well. It's not just the two guys just in the studio anymore rushing through the recording. You can tell they sort of took a little bit more time with the production on this one. Like I said, the keyboard is added, and it really adds some flavor to the sound while still maintaining that integrity that they've kept over the years. Gold on the Ceiling is a pretty catchy song. It kind of just makes you pay attention to what's going on, and I think it's actually Dan Auerbach's strongest vocal performance on the album. It really, you know, it has some really catchy drum beats and some really cool guitars. But again, it still has that sound that you can tell that this is the Black Keys, and but it's pushing their sound forward, and they're not doing the same thing over and over again. They're trying new things, and that's really respectable because they're not afraid to do something that's a little new and unexpected, and but still maintaining that sound that they've had over the years, just sort of expanding upon it. By the time you get to the song Little Black Submarines, it really slows down things a little bit. And it starts off, the first sort of half of the song is this sort of acoustic thing, and with the drums slowly coming in, and it slowly builds, and that sort of almost immediately stops, and then breaks into this just rockin' jam that just goes for the rest of the song. And it's really interesting to hear sort of two parts of the song. It doesn't really build up, it just sort of changes all of a sudden. It's sort of an interesting sort of counterpoint. And it was sort of hard to grasp a little bit, but as soon as you know what's going on, it's really cool and you can just sort of enjoy the ride. The song Sister takes on a slightly different tone. It's really a danceable song, actually, and it's something that would maybe be played on like pop radio in the 90s, not now because it wouldn't fit within that sort of context, but definitely in like the mid 90s on pop radio it would fit in very well. I think, you know, this song, it's a little bit of a departure, but again, it's still consistent with their sound. I don't know how they pull it off, but it's just one of those songs that, you know they're doing something different, but it still sounds like them. And I know I'm sort of saying the same thing with a lot of these songs, but this album is really full of that. And it's really cool to see that these guys are not afraid to sort of experiment a little bit. The song Nova Baby is sort of reminds me of like late 70s, early 80s new wave. It really sounds like something that the Jam would do. And it's really cool to see these guys sort of show their influences a little bit and sort of tell you that, you know, they're not just into garage blues rock, which is cool, but they're also into this other music that's like new wave and all these different bands and influence that they have on this album. And this record, I think, is more of a departure from the sound that they've constructed, but it still has elements of that, and they're sort of expanding upon it, like I said, and that's really cool to see. And then the album closes with a song called Mind Eraser, and it's really sort of influenced by like 70s soul music, like Curtis Mayfield or something. And it really has a nice groove, and it's sort of a cool down. If you think of it as like you're going out for a jog, you're jogging for about 40 minutes, and then 5 minutes after you go for a cool down walk. Mind Eraser is more of that cool down walk, where it's sort of bringing you back down to the level of when you first started. It sort of takes you on this energy high, and then the Mind Eraser is that sort of bring down a little bit. and it really works well, and it sort of closes the album nicely. So production-wise, this album is pretty well done. It's a little more polished than what they've done in the past, but it's again, they're expanding. You can tell that they spent a little more time on this and took a little more care in the production rather than just hit record and set up the microphones and just go. It's they spent a little more time getting proper sounds and things like that. So yeah, the production is pretty well done. I like this album. It's kind of all over the place, but that's kind of what I like about it. They're not confined to one particular style. They're sort of experimenting with different things. Sometimes that can work against someone, but I think that works in their favor on this album. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So that's what I thought about the album. Let me know what you guys think in the comments or with the video response. Don't forget to check out the Twitter and Facebook pages, as well as Last.fm and the website polyphonicpress.com. All the links are in the description. And if you'd like me to review an album, let me know in the comments or with a private message. And I guess that's about it. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.